If you remember, on the west side of our studio gardens, we had a windbreak planted of Leland cypress, and these cypress were planted about 3 years ago. And our windbreak, just like we've talked about, was to help provide protection to our annual beds that are behind us here from wind and soil erosion, and also to help provide a screen for a nice backdrop for our plantings as well as for shooting Oklahoma gardening. Well, this past winter, those sub-zero freezing temperatures did a number on our cypress, damaged a lot of them and killed a lot of them out. So today we're going to be replanting the windbreak, and we've selected a variety that is a Chinese juniper. And we've selected this variety because it is a fast, upright growing evergreen. It's also more cold hardy and also more heat tolerant. And this particular variety of Chinese juniper is Hollywood juniper, and it was provided along with the other plants from our good friends in California of Monrovia Nursery Company. Now, fall is a good time to plant container trees and shrubs simply because of the reason that our soil temperatures are a lot milder and this root system will continue to grow. Now, we've already made our planting hole, and we'll loosen up where we can set that plant right down in there. And the thing that you want to remember is the planting hole should not be dug any deeper than the plant will fit right in there, but you want to get it wider because you want to allow those root systems to grow. Now, research shows that the root system of most of our trees is in the top 6 to 12 to even 18 inches of soil. So we've got it set down in there firmly. We have it lined up with our other windbreak trees, and we just put in some soil around the edges and try to pack that in. As we're doing that, keep in mind that you don't really want to put in any backfill such as organic matter or peat moss. You want to use the natural soil that you have planted out of your planting hole. And we're just using our natural clay, silt clay that we've got here at our studio gardens. Now, as we get all of that soil filled in, don't set the trees down too deep and make a little bucket to hold water, especially if you have a clay soil, because you will cause the trees to become rotted with the root system. And also, especially with that clay soil, you'll run into problems with diseases. Now, with your excess soil, you can actually make a little wall around to hold water, but again, that's only in an area that's real sandy where you don't get a lot of moisture retention. If you dig the hole too deep and then you come in and refill that as a tree matures and establishes, you're going to actually change the planting depth, and that can be harmful. Now, what we'll do once we get the tree planted is we'll water it real well, keep it watered during the winter time, even during those cold temperatures. We'll eventually put a mulch over it to help protect the root system from the cold, and then we'll fertilize it next spring. Now, you don't want to fertilize it at planting time because you may burn the root system and cause excess growth that would be damaged during the winter. Now, if you'll remember, back during the summertime, we had problems with some of our peppers because of hot wind blowing around them. We couldn't get any fruit set. So we put up a fabric barrier like this to help as an artificial windbreak. We had a lot of success with that. Something similar to this would also work behind annuals or perennials or low-growing shrubs if you needed a windbreak and didn't really have room to plant other trees. Now, one thing that I want to bring to your attention, the Forestry Service in Oklahoma with the Department of Agriculture is offering some tree seedlings for a conservation program that they have, and it's called Forest Regeneration Conservation Program. And these seedlings are available for people who have large acres of land who need a conservation program or a windbreak or a wildlife conservation program. There is a minimum order of the trees, usually around 200, and there is a charge for the seedlings. And again, I want to emphasize these aren't for the homeowners, these are for people who have large areas and need a conservation program. But if you're interested in ordering some of these seedlings, now is the time to do that, and it's on a first come, first served basis. You can pick up a form like this at your county extension office or contact the Forestry Department or the Department of Agriculture. The last thing that I want to mention is a couple of bulletins that will assist you in making a selection of planting windbreaks, trees and shrubs, and even helping you in finding the right variety and how to properly plant them. And these are Landscaping for Energy Conservation, which is a bulletin that is available at your county extension office. This helps in determining wind, speed, temperatures, and things like that to help you in landscaping your home. And the next one is a new one that's just released. It's a circular that's called Shade and Ornamental Trees, and it helps break up the varieties for the different parts of the state, as well as helping you determine if it would be planted in full sun or shade. And the second bulletin is a charge of 50 cents, but again, it's just out and it's available at your county extension office. So don't forget to go by there and ask for these bulletins to help you in determining your planting needs for this fall.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.